Y'all, look at this drawing I had to make before I started. There was a lot going on. Girl.
Trapping like the narco. Got dope like Pablo. Cut dope like Pablo. Chop trees with the Draco. On the north got Diego.
Hey, babes. So, we got a lot on our hands today. Today, I'm going to show y'all how I created this purple, Christmassy, gingerbread inspired nail set. I'm going to show y'all how to do some 3D nail art today. I actually got this idea from another YouTuber. I compiled so many different designs for this first off, but I got this gingerbread girl idea from Bomb Nails on YouTube. So I'm going to show y'all my little recreation and how I achieved this look. This first finger, I'm starting off with some glitter. This is going to be a full glitter finger, get into the Christmas vibes. I found I think this is some glitter, some holographic glitter from, I think it's D&D or something like that. I had like a whole pack, different colors. And I was like, I'm going to use some of this glitter. It's Christmas. So I'm just going to cap this nail in some clear. And I'm going to move on to the next one. But in the meantime, y'all know I ain't never used purple on my nails. I really don't think I've ever had a purple nail set. Like, matter of fact, I might have added like a purple nail in something before. But I've never seen nobody do like purple Christmas nails. When I was finished, I showed my man, and he was like, those not even Christmas colors. I was like, look, I'm gonna do what I want. Y'all let me know if y'all ever tried or would try a set that's non-traditional, because I don't know, I just like to be creative. I like to be a little different, a little extra, get into the vibes. But all right, so look, right, this purple acrylic is something that I made when I first started doing nails, and I was practicing. I was trying to make my own colors, and I made a lot of really nice colors. But this purple right here, I don't know what happened. Something went wrong because, whatever I mixed together did not go well together. This purple has so much marbling in it. But you know what? It's fine. It was okay. I just kept on moving, kept it pushing, because this is going to be my gingerbread nail. So it's not going to matter. The purple is pretty much going to get covered up because I'm going to make my gingerbread real big. Okay? Real big. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't even see any of the marbling in the nail now that it's finished. I don't see none of that. So yeah, it was good, y'all. It don't matter what color you used, but yeah, this one was looking a little crazy. I had to keep going over it. I was like, let me see if I can just get that dark. That dark wasn't going nowhere. It wasn't going nowhere at all. She said, I'm here to stay. It was not trying to get covered up. So right now, I'm just building up my nails. I like my nails a little thick, so you'll see me add couple different layers of acrylic on each nail. I like them to be real thick. I find that when I make my nails a lot thicker, my shape lasts like for the entire time that I have my nails on, which is not long because I change my nails all the time. But for the most part, my shape lasts. I think I like it like that. I don't know if y'all like y'all nails on the thinner side. I know a lot of girls say that they like their nails a little thinner, but I really don't want to take no chances. I don't like taking chances with my nails because I feel like if they're gonna be thin, then they might break. So either way, I try to make sure that it has a good structure for the most part, and I'm just I file it down and I fix my shape at the end. But yeah, I'm a thick nail girl. I like them thick, and I make them, taper in. So I make them appear to be slim, but they are nice and thick. This brush that I'm using, actually, I had this brush for about 2 years, girl, and it's still doing the thing. This was a brush from it's a Alpha Oval Kalinsky or from the Alpha website. I don't know, child. I was doing a lot of research when I first started doing nails. It was maybe about 2.5 years ago now, 2.5, maybe 3. I'm not even sure. I'm gonna have to go check my dates. But yeah, this was a good brush, girl. I did my research on YouTube to see what type of products I should buy, what type of stuff I should get, and all types of stuff. And a lot of people recommended this brush, and it really has lasted me so long. So my thumb is going to be real basic, real simple. Sometimes I go all out on my thumbs because I feel like thumbs don't get enough love. So especially on my clients, I make sure I get those thumbs. Those thumbs be having so many designs in it, but I never even end up taking picture of thumbs. Thumbs just be getting left out. It really be like the main 4 fingers. But for this finger, I'm going to do a little marble design, and it's going to have some little glitter snowflakes and stuff in it. So it was real cute, but I didn't even bling this nail. I might go back and bling it a little bit later, but I felt like it wasn't necessary because I had so much going on in these nails by the time I was finished. I was like, no, you know what? It's cute. It's fine. I just left it like that. But usually when I do my marble, I like to do, all types of crazy marbling patterns and stuff like that. But this time I kept it real sleek. I kept it real simple and made sure like my marble came out like all nice and, it was just straight. It wasn't like a traditional marble. They was like straight lines for the most part. And what you just saw me do is I use like a Ziploc bag. I use a plastic baggie, and I like to do that when I'm doing I like to use that when I'm doing encapsulations, because y'all know how you try to put something on a nail and then you go to cap it, but all the little decals are sticking up in the air and stuff like that. And I found that the easiest way for me to do that was to just put some clear acrylic down, lay my decals on my stickers or whatever I'm going to put on there, and put, a little plastic bag on top. You hold it in place and they lay completely flat. I just showed y'all my little, that was my little practice gingerbread that I did before I even got started this set. My little practice gingerbread, she was cute, but I ended up going bigger. Gotta think big. Also, when I top coated these nails, I did my middle finger and my pinky, I made them matte. The other ones, I think I used Model 1's matte top coat, and then on the other fingers, the nude fingers and my thumb, I used Beetle's gel top coat, and you can find it on Amazon. I do have an Amazon storefront, and I'm going to try to put it in the description. I think the link was acting a little funny. I'll see if I can add it. Now right here, I'm just going in. This is where I'm going to form this gingerbread girl. She's going to be a girl. Okay. I saw the girl had a cute little bow and stuff like that. I was like, okay, I'm going to send her my bow. I'm going to make her like a cute little purple girl. Okay. To match this set. So when I'm not going to use like a detail brush. I do have a small Mia Secret, I think it's a 3D nail art brush that I see a lot of people use for 3D designs, but I really just like to use that brush for flowers. Because I wanted the gingerbread to be large, I went ahead and I used my acrylic brush to form this gingerbread. When I'm picking up beads, for this gingerbread design, I'm not actually, you can't even see me picking up the beads. Sorry about that. But when I'm picking up the beads, I'm just trying to imagine the size that I want each part. So I already formed the head, and I made sure I grabbed a larger bead. I didn't dry any of these beads off. I used it just like I would use a 3D nail art brush. I didn't dry any of these beads off. I just picked up the amount of product that I thought I would need for each part of this design. I'm doing it piece by piece. So I formed the head, I made the neck and arms at the same time, and now I'm forming the body. I just let the acrylic sit on my brush for a few seconds until it polymerizes. So I just make sure the bead is completely wet on the brush before I apply it to my nail, and that'll make it easier for you to form the acrylic into the shape that you want it to be. You notice how it's not super runny. Like I have a nice amount of liquid in my brush, but I don't have it too runny where it's moving all over the place and it's gonna be too hard to control. So here I'm making her a little dress. I really thought this idea was so cute, to give her a little dress so you can know it's a girl. It's not no gingerbread man, okay? She's a girl. So I'm just gonna keep picking up beads. While I'm picking up beads, you notice how I'm picking up smaller ones too, because her body is a little flat. So I'm gonna keep picking up smaller beads and making sure that I'm spreading it evenly across the entire body of the gingerbread girl, so that it has a nice thickness and it really looks like it's popping off of the nail. As you can see, the gingerbread girl, our gingerbread girl, is pretty much halfway finished. Actually, a little more than halfway finished. I just finished, I'm trying to perfect her little body shape. And I do go in at the end and buff her entire body before I put a top coat on her. And of course, I'm going to be using a matte top coat when I top coat her. I just made sure that, I'm getting all of the little corners and everything before I even go in and do her legs. I wanted to make sure her entire body was as even as possible before finishing up. At the end, I do go and I apply a gel top coat around this entire design because I did want the gingerbread girl to stand out. I wanted her to stand out against the purple background, so I wanted her to be matte and I wanted the nail itself to be shiny. But the reason I went in and I applied a matte top coat to the nail first is because had I applied a shiny top coat first, it would have been pretty much hell trying to apply this acrylic on top of that shiny surface. So please make sure before you're doing 3D nail art that you're doing it on a dry surface. Either you can do it as soon as you finish applying your acrylic and shaping and filing and buffing and all that jazz, or you can go ahead and apply a matte top coat first and it will do the same thing for you. It's just going to make your life a lot easier. On a side note though, I do remember that I do like to use a shiny top coat before I'm creating 3D flowers, but we're not doing that in this design. Also, this was my first time trying to create something this large on a nail. So I wanted to make it as easy as possible for myself. But when I'm doing 3D flowers, sometimes I do use a gel top coat first, but that's because it makes it, remember, when you have a shiny surface and you're applying acrylic to a shiny surface, it allows you to move the acrylic around a lot more than as opposed to a dry surface. So sometimes when I'm making 3D flowers, I like to use the shiny surface so that I can create those little indents. Now here, You see, I'm using my 3D nail art brush. I did use the 3D nail art brush to create the little legs because I realized they were going to be entirely too small for me to use my large acrylic brush. I thought that I used my acrylic brush for the entire design, but I did not. Okay, so using a smaller 3D nail art brush will help you to get small details of the design. Now, the same exact way I went and did the gingerbread girl is the same thing that I'm going to do to create these candy canes. So I'm going to be making 3 small candy canes. At first, I wanted to do 1 large one, but I realized it was really difficult to work with the white acrylic on my first go trying to create a really large candy cane on my nails. So I opted for the smaller ones, and yeah, white acrylic is a hot mess when it comes to trying to form it around, but it actually came out pretty cute. So I used, because this is a smaller design, I did continue to use the 3D nail art brush for the candy canes. Now, once I formed each candy cane, I made sure that I went in with smaller beads and I continued to build up the candy cane. Remember, this is supposed to be a 3D design. So you want to go in and make sure that your candy canes are even as possible completely around. Now at the end, if your candy canes come out a little lumpy and bumpy, it's completely fine because you're going to buff the surface of the candy canes. Well, you can buff the surface of the candy canes when you're finished. I don't think that I did, but you can do that if you have like really, if they come out really lumpy. But so I try to make them as smooth as possible. You just try to make your design as smooth as possible. Any place that you see where there's an area a little larger, make sure that you go in and you fill the flatter spaces just to make sure that you get an even all around look. Starting off the candy canes, I just used a medium-sized bead. I just took a medium-sized bead of the white acrylic, and I had candy canes that are hanging on my tree that are in my nail room. So I was able to look at those candy canes to figure out, I know, girl, I should know what a candy cane looks like. But sometimes it's hard, like even for art, it's hard to envision what stuff is supposed to look like. So it's great if you have one on hand, okay, to make sure that the candy cane looking good. Because at first my candy cane was looking a little bit like the letter C, and that was just not giving candy cane, okay? So I definitely did look across from me at a candy cane to get the basic shape of what this candy cane was supposed to look like. So just starting off with a medium bead to form your candy cane, and then you're going to go in with those smaller beads and make it even. Here I'm going to be forming my French nail. I'm going to be showing y'all how to do a French nail using a liner brush. And I'm going to be using this pretty, girl, this thing is pretty. It's a reflective gel from Born Pretty. I grabbed a little collection off Amazon of reflective gel polishes, and I just line the sides of my nail first. I saw people use like a technique where they draw a whole bunch of lines and then they draw a line across. But girl, to me, that's a little bit time consuming. It's a little too time consuming for me because, you know, I needed to get this done. Okay, girl? So I just lined the nail and I made sure I drew a C. And you can just keep turning your nail around and check to make sure your C is straight. And you can also go in with your brush to fix anything that you feel like needs to be fixed to get it as even as possible. And I just filled that bad boy in. I just filled it in with the applicator brush that came with the gel polish. And girl, you got yourself a cute little French, okay? Anytime I'm trying to get kind of like a perfect shape, if you're trying to get that perfect crispy shape, just make sure you're using that liner brush. You must use a liner brush to go over it, even if it looks good at first. Even if you go in and use the applicator brush and you just paint that bad boy on, you make sure you go in with that 3D, well, I'm sorry, not 3D, but that liner brush to get your shape as crispy as you possibly can. And then wipe them sides down, girl, so you don't ruin your shape. And go ahead and cure that. For this snowflake design, you can use, of course, you can use any color that you want for your snowflake. But, of course, I'm going with white. I want everything to pop, and I want it to really look like a snowflake as best as I possibly can. So, with most of my hand-drawn nail art, I do want it to fit the nail. So I do want it to look like it belongs. Okay, so I do like to go in and line the nail before I do most of my designs. That's just what I personally like to do. But especially for this look, because I was going with that that half snowflake look. I wanted the half snowflake. I did not want the full snowflake on this nail. I don't remember where this gel polish is from, but most likely I got it on Amazon. That's where I like to do a lot of my shopping for nail art stuff. So most likely Amazon, and it doesn't really matter which, white you use, as long as it's a pretty good coverage white and it's not too transparent. Anything that's pretty opaque will work for you. I did mess up right here. I made one of the lines a bit too long. So I just went in with my acrylic brush and I just wiped it off with some acetone and a little bit of alcohol. I just wiped it, girl, you can fix it. And once I got my lines the way I wanted them to look, I just went in and I added some little dots. All the way around. Well, not all the way around, but I added some dots to, you'll see in a little bit, but I added the dots to the longer lines. I didn't add it to the side line, but you'll see. See, I'm just going to add some little dots in the middle of the snowflake, and I'm going to add some dots to the points of I don't want to call them legs, like legs of the snowflakes. And then I added some clear acrylic. I put some clear acrylic on top and I cured that so that it would give me a matte look on top of the shiny. And now I'm going to make some icicles. Okay, I'm going to make an icicle design around my French. At first, I did not want to do this. I was contemplating so hard whether or not I should go in on top of this French because I thought the French was so pretty as is. But girl, I wanted a busy design. Okay, I wanted it to be that. I wanted it to be so much going on that you can't even see it all at one time. So I just outlined my French, and then I drew little lines going straight down the nail. And you can just do this in whatever shape that fits you best or fits the nail that you've already created. So I drew like maybe about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines straight down. And then I'm going to connect each line in the middle. I'm going to just draw like a little C shape in between each of the lines to give that icicle effect. Then I'm just going to put some white glitter. It was some white holographic glitter that I had, and I just dumped it on top the same way I did with the clear acrylic and the snowflake. I just dumped that glitter right on top, and I cured that. Now, I did do this a little bit backwards because I was supposed to top coat that reflective purple glitter first. Had I top coated first, I wouldn't have had to go in later on, but I did end up having to go in later on because I don't know if you see my last couple videos, but your girl's a little backwards. I like to do shit backwards. I don't know why. Oh, excuse my language, but I don't know why, but I just do. I do stuff backwards a lot. So I did have that sticky layer still attached to the purple after my nail was completely cured. So I just went in with that liner brush again, and I did my clear gel polish in the middle of my icicle design. I'm using that same liner brush to go ahead and draw my lines on my candy cane. Girl, I don't know why it was so hard for me to get this middle candy cane right, but I managed to get it. It's like candy canes, if you actually look at a candy cane, them lines they actually go in different directions. I didn't notice that at first until my candy canes just wasn't looking right. But now I'm using a smaller liner brush to create the icing on top of my gingerbread girl. So I lined her neck, her arms and legs, and then I also lined the part where her dress is supposed to be. And now I'm going back in with that 3D nail art brush, and I'm basically going to do a 3D flower. I'm going to do the petals of the 3D flower on each side, and I'm using really small beads, okay, real small beads, because I did not want her bow to be super big, because I also had to make her face. And I also realized after this design that my gingerbread girl don't have no nose, okay? She can't smell nothing. She don't have no nose. I didn't even go back to see if a gingerbread is supposed to have a nose, but I'm pretty sure she was supposed to have a nose. But she doesn't. She got some cute lips with lip gloss instead. So this bow, I just made 2 acrylic petals, and then I made sure I put a little bead of acrylic in the middle of that bow to form the center. I wanted her buttons to really pop, so I did use a little like a slightly larger bead to do the buttons. And her eyes, I just went in and I did those with gel polished. I just put a little dot for each eye, and then I went in end of a smaller detail brush and I just put 2 dots of black gel polish. For her lips, I'm just using that same detail brush, and I wanted her to have some little puckery lips, some cute little lips. So I did those with white gel polish, and then I went in with a different purple glitter on top to make it look like lip gloss. I drew a little black line. It might be hard for you to tell, but I drew a little black line in the center to really make it look like lips, and I also gave her some freckles. This is where I started to get a bit creative, because you'll see me adding these small snow like decals. I also found them on Amazon, and they were real easy to use too. They laid completely flat to the nail, and I was able to top coat these and make it look really seamless. So I just top coated everywhere that I placed these decals, and I cured it. And of course I wouldn't be myself if I didn't use some bling. I did add bling I stuck the bling around the snowflake to make it pop, and I added some cuticle crystals to the pinky, and I just added a simple little dot of bling to my French nail just to make it pop. And now I'm going to show y'all the finished result. Girl! If you would recreate this design and you like how it came out, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to my channel for more. And I'll see y'all in the next one.
Trapping like the narco. Got dope like Pablo. Cut dope like Pablo. Chop trees with the Draco.